Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome once again to the Middle of Greatness. I, as always, am Joey Livingston, the assistant to the guest host. And hey, Jack, listen, from now on, when this show starts, you start on me, okay? The guest host is a special presentation, and that guest host needs to be revealed after a moment. So I'm tempted to make you start the show again, but we'll just keep rolling on. Our guest host this week is none other than a founding member of Back Porch Comedy, because what this movement that's going on here in comedy in Pensacola, Florida is very important. So you need to get to know her. She's also a hilarious comedian. So I want you to put your hands together and welcome Olivia Searcy.
Hello.
How are you doing today? Actually, it's Liv. You want to be called Liv.
I mean, that's what my family and close friends call me.
Right.
I like it. You don't have to.
So is our audience allowed to call you? I mean, is it a friends thing?
I don't care. I don't care.
Do you? Okay. All right. Because I prefer to be called Joey. My legal name is Timothy Josiah Livingston, and I don't care whether you're my friend or a stranger, audience member, an enemy. I want you to call me Joey. Is it like that for you, or is it more of a you're my friend, therefore call me Liv?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know. If you call me Liv, I don't care. I like it.
I have a friend. She's been a friend of mine for 2 decades at least. And for the first decade of our friendship, I called her Kaylee. She's crew member one's wife, Kaylee. And hey, Kaylee, how are you doing, Kaylee? Hey, Joey, good to see you. Hey, Kaylee. Years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear her telling other people that she prefers to be called Kimberly and always has. So I'm glad that you told me that, because I was calling you Olivia. Everybody was calling you Olivia. You basically cursed us all out in a group. Didn't you start that group Facebook message just to rant about how you?
Obviously, I was joking, and everything via text is misinterpreted always.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, we took it right. You were just joking. Yeah. But Liv it is. But on Facebook, you're Olivia, and if people want to look you up, it's Olivia Searcy. Honestly, I think that you should make people call you Searcy, because one day that's just what I'm going to start calling you, Searcy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, Searcy Lannister is fucking ruthless badass. Wait, do you want to be like? Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
I am, but I don't want to be like.
Searcy?
No, I don't want people to think of her.
She has some good qualities. She's quite a champion.
She's a bitch.
Well, yeah. Well, who now name a woman in that show that isn't a bitch. I'm not saying she's not there. I'm just saying it's challenging.
I don't think Daenerys is a bitch.
It depends on who's talking.
I think
to her.
she kind of has to be. It's just a front.
Right.
Like she needs to let people know who's in power.
Yeah, but isn't that true?
Even though she has 3 dragons, doesn't really have to do that. But
yeah. So, I guess she's as unbitchy as anybody can get, and still have control of their life. Yeah, don't you think? Like I find that like I've struggled all my life to be kind to people and patient with people and understanding, etc. But I found that if I take that too far, that some humans will take advantage of me, and that sometimes I have to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Which is I think in English, asshole is the male form of bitch. So, bitch is the feminine, asshole is the masculine. You know how some words have masculine, feminine stuff? Yeah.
I feel the same way you do, kind of. Like, I go out of my way to be, like, a nice person to everybody.
Yeah.
Because even if someone's being an asshole towards me, like, I still try to be nice to them, just because you don't know, like, what someone's life is like. You don't know, like, what's going on behind the curtain. So that's just how I was raised. Like, I'm nice to everybody, treat them the way I want to be treated. And, like, I get treated like shit a lot because of that. And I get, like, walked all over, and that sucks.
Do you ever just put your foot
down?
Yeah,
when I do, everyone's like, man, like, what a bitch. I'm like, I can't get
you
mad
are.
every once in
You're
a while.
alone. You're alone when you put your foot down. Well, you're kind of alone. If your real homies are there, then they'll have your back. But they might let you stand there and be alone because you've made that stance. Until things get physical, they're just going to stand back and have your back. It just feels like you're alone.
Are you trying to tell me that someone thinks I'm a bitch?
No,
That we know? Okay.
Absolutely
All right.
not. No, I'm just saying, on a personal basis, when somebody tries to push me around, sometimes I just got to put my foot down, And I've learned that recently. I mean, when I was younger, I did it just because I was really annoyed and I didn't have any patience. But I had to reinstitute it in my adult life when I realized that it was the only way that some people understood my boundaries. You know. Cool. So now you told me, you texted me, you said I'm on my way here.
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually still in my kitchen. I always do that. And I
Oh,
was like,
man.
on the way. But
Now,
I was getting ready to leave.
I was fixing to bust
I
you.
had my keys in my
Okay,
hand.
you live 15 minutes from here?
I live in East Hill.
Okay, right, okay. So I assumed that you were still, you were either still at work, which couldn't be possible because you said you're like 30 minutes away, or you're in traffic texting. So I was fixing to bust you for texting in traffic.
That's why you said be safe and relax. When you said relax, I'm like, how does he know I'm stressed out?
Oh yeah, did that when I said okay, just just enjoy the ride and relax. Did that actually make you relax, or were you like, oh no, you're thinking about relaxing? No.
No.
Yeah. I just
Thank
didn't
you.
want you to stress out about being late here. It's far more important that you and I have a good discussion. What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory.
Yeah.
Crying at a birthday party at my parents' house. I think I
Really?
was 4 years old. And I don't remember why I was crying. I don't know. Sitting at our dining room table.
Doesn't your first memory feel like you sort of woke up? Like suddenly you exist? I mean, that's as far back as I can remember. My great grandma woke me up. A little ant there.
I've been watching
You're
it.
the second back porch founder to attract bugs.
Murder.
Yeah, that is true. I'm sorry to all Buddhists who watch our show. I identify with you, and I'm learning. But anyways, my first memory, my great-grandma was waking me up out of bed, and then we went over to this wooden drawer, and she pulled it open, and there was a set of green and yellow jammies in it. Yeah, and then that's all I remember. And then, then I also remember, like, maybe not the same day, but it's like maybe my second memory or something, getting on the phone with my mom, my great grandma was taking care of me. My mom was in another state, getting a job, getting herself dug in before she came and got me, and I remember talking to her, but I also remember that I knew, first of all, I knew she was my mom, and I knew that she was going to come get me one day, which she did. But the strange thing to me is that those are my first memories. So, like, I remember remembering that she was my mom. I remember remembering that she was going to get me. But I don't remember those times when anybody explained that to me or anything like that. I just remember, boom, you exist. There you are. So tell me a little bit more about your memory.
That's all I can remember.
That's all you can remember, yeah.
It wasn't a good one.
What about your second one?
Let's see.
You guest hosts are sometimes a little uncooperative with my topics. I got to really pull it out of you.
Okay, being at another birthday party. I guess I really remember my birthday.
Really?
As well.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I was at
Yeah.
the zoo,
I remember mine,
and
yeah.
I was
Sure.
watching. It's when they had an elephant
Yeah.
at the zoo, and they don't have that there anymore. I think I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember holding a
Elephant
boy's
at the zoo.
hand. I don't know who
Yeah.
he was, but I remember holding a boy's hand who
Yeah.
was not a grown man, but someone that was my age.
Right. Yeah. I remember some of those.
Mine are boring.
Do what?
So my first memories are really boring.
No,
It makes
not
me
at
kind of
all.
sad.
You sound like Tony. You want us to edit the show. You know, shit keeps falling out of my glasses.
Is it sweat? Because your forehead is
I
covered
know.
in sweat.
It's super hot in here, guys. Yeah.
So why do you wear the cardigan every day? That same
Yeah, the
cardigan.
sweater. I need to take. I'm fixing to take it off. This is the first show where I'm going to be forced by sheer temperature to
It's pretty hot in here.
shed
Yeah.
my sweater. But it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, you were asking about my cardigan earlier, which I don't even think of it as a cardigan anymore. But I guess it is any button-up sweater. You asked me why I wore it. You know, I grew up in Oklahoma City, and there they have deep winters. You know, it gets really cold, and so a lot of people wear sweaters. So my mom bought me sweaters all the time. I had this big, heavy sweater when I was in junior high that was so big and floppy that I loved it. It was like wearing a blanket, but it was big enough to where I grew into it into my adult life. And it was still like a big, thick, comfortable sweater. And I wore it for years, probably until my early 30s every now and then. We moved to Florida. Mm-hmm. So I kind of stopped wearing it, but I still have it somewhere. It's all worn out. I'll never wear it again. But anyways, some of my childhood heroes, Mr. Rogers, Bill Cosby, that was a deep cut for me when I found out the man's crimes. But then I have a really hard time explaining this to anybody who's 10 years younger than me or younger. I've actually offended a couple of ladies at Back Porch Comedy just saying, I know, just imagine if you found out that your dad had taken advantage of countless women,
right?
and they you're defending him. Well, I'm not. I'm just hurt.
I understand.
Yeah. But anyways, he wore some amazing sweaters. That's who my hero is Phil Huxtable. He did no wrong. He took care of his family and good guy. But he wore some great sweaters with nice patterns on them. I just normally get plain sweaters. But anyway, so moved to Florida. Can't wear sweaters anymore. 10 years roll by, and then I'm like, is that true? I can't wear sweaters anymore? Like just because it's hot? So
you just want to have a heat stroke?
Yeah, these past 5 years have been an experiment in defying social and temperate norms. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, yeah, the shit on my glasses keep falling off. I've had these glasses for what, honey? About 10 years now, or more. Yeah, and I paid like $200 for the frames, because I was poor and I love these so much. I think that sounds cheap to some people, $200 for frames, but I was poor and I love these frames so much. I put them on. How long do you wear glasses?
I should be.
Okay.
I don't really wear them anymore.
Gone with anybody to the eye doctor?
Yes.
How long did it take them to pick out their frames?
I haven't gone for anyone for their appointment. People have gone with me before.
Okay.
When I went to one. And someone did call me out for I ended up getting a $300 frame glasses.
Oh, okay.
They were Coach, the first ones I got.
Okay. And how long did it take you to pick those out?
Not long at all. I just looked for the ones that looked the most normal and
Yeah.
It looked like it was, I don't know, just.
Okay. Well.
I don't know.
How long did it take you guys to pick out your glasses? Mammy, how long did it take you? Oh. I guess I'm not as special as I thought I was. I walked into the optometrist, saw these, got tested, came back. I said, they were like, here's all the frames. I was like, let me try that one. Gave them I put them on. I said, those are the ones I want. And I just made it clear, I have $200 to spend. I saw the price tag. I knew what my budget was. I said, I have $200. They took me back into this office, and this lady talked to me like a principal to a student about how much of a discount she was giving. It's like she was mad about the discount that she was giving me for these frames. I was like, well, you don't have to give me the discount.
Yeah, she doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, like you can just say no, and I understand. These are the frames I want, and I'll just pay for the test, But she sold me these, so I felt like I got a bargain. But then within a couple of weeks, these little brass pieces fell off the side. So I asked my wife I designed a little bead, like a color scheme bead. I said, would you take some clay and make me a couple little beads that I can put in here? And she did, and I glued them in. They've stayed in. And now the front parts are falling out. And I just want to know,
I think you need to get new glasses and lose the cardigan.
Really?
Do you guys agree?
You don't like my fashion sense? Here, I am gonna shed
it's making me
sweater,
sweat more.
This show. Yeah, I'm very, very hot right now. But the glasses stay on.
See, at least I have bangs to soak up my forehead sweat.
Yeah, but I really like these frames, and I'm afraid that when I go to replace them, I'm not gonna be able to find another pair like them. I had the lenses replaced in these glasses. Yeah. Anyways, that was a really fun topic. Guys. Liv, do you think Well, let me just say this. Okay, so I've thought about a lot about a discussion that I've had with you and with Zach, a little bit with Tony, and that is, in the time that I've been getting up on stage and trying open mic, etc., I get the sense, and it's just my reflex, and maybe it's not the right reflex, but whenever I do poorly, sometimes I look at the audience and I say, there's something about this audience dynamic that isn't working. And like in a recent show, I was really enjoying myself bragging about how many Gene Wilder documentaries that I had watched on stage, and people hadn't been laughing at my jokes for the past 2 minutes. So I was just in this state where I was just laughing at myself and enjoying my own jokes, and nobody. There was not like. The reason why I'm pointing that out is because when a comedian finds that state of mind where they are amused by their own jokes, regardless of what the audience is doing, it tends to be the place that amps the audience up. That brings energy to the audience when they understand you're in control, you know what you're doing. This audience just wasn't happening. Well, I've had conversations with you and with Zach and with Tony a couple times about this, and you're sort of sympathetic, but then, and I appreciate this opinion that you have, it sort of keeps me in check, but you sort of end the conversation by saying it's really never the audience's fault if a comedian bombs. Did I understand you correctly?
Did I say that?
I don't know if I'm probably just summarizing my understanding there. I'm not saying, that's not a quote. Yeah. Is that how you feel? Because I got that sense from Zach, got that sense from Tony, but maybe my mind is sort of skewing what you meant.
I'm trying to think of how
do you
to
feel
word
about
it.
audience responsibility? Is an audience responsible?
No, I think it can go either way. Sometimes you just have an audience of people. Like, we'll have nights where, like, I'll walk in there and I'm like, I don't recognize like a single person. Like these audience people they're not regulars. So for some of them, maybe it's like their first time going to a comedy show. They don't really know what to expect. Some people I feel like are afraid to laugh.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe some people are just like, they're just. For me, for instance, I don't laugh out loud as much as I used to. I'm more of like, I'll just watch it, observe it, and I can appreciate it, and like I'll smile.
Yeah.
And like.
Yeah. You're
like,
part of the problem.
I know. I'm sorry, but like I'm not gonna force myself to laugh. Like I'll clap for like my fellow comedians are on stage, but like I'm not gonna.
DK's state of mind.
I'm not gonna fake laugh. I just don't. And I know like some people, a lot of comics do that.
Yeah.
To help, but like.
Yeah.
I do think
you need a balance to get an honest sense of your jokes.
Yeah.
You need people who like DK and like you who they're just you're gonna have to earn that laugh. When I go into a venue, I don't want to have fake laughter, but I try to find a place where I can find the ridiculousness of whatever's going on. Like even if I'm just laughing at the comedian failing on stage.
Yeah.
That I might be laughing at that. And
that's
yeah.
That's actually when I laugh the hardest, I think, is when I see someone failing and like it's not laughing in a mean way, it's just like I've been there, I know, and like that's why it's hilarious.
And this is hilarious, and because the comedian needs to recognize they need to enjoy that moment, because that can help them sort of pick up some momentum into the next joke sometimes. Yeah, let's see. So then you would agree that the audience, I feel that the audience does have some responsibility towards the performer, whether they understand it or not. And I don't know. That's why I holler, "Shut the fuck up" sometimes. Should I stop doing that? Should I stop hollering, "Shut the fuck up"? Yeah.
I haven't had a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
Because anytime I've heard you do that, it's usually people are just being super obnoxious.
Yeah.
And it's because what we usually do is like we'll go up to them and be like, hey, could you please quiet down? And if like they continue to like being loud and like disrespectful, then like hell yeah, then tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I kind of wait until I see the comedians sort of getting really distracted, because if they're focused, and I'm just disturbed by them, and then I holler, "Shut the fuck up," I'm gonna interrupt them.
I'll usually just stare, give them the stink eye.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
For a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually went and sat in front of a guy one time. Like there was this guy that was, he was just hollering at the people on stage, and he couldn't take any hint at all. The comedians were sort of making fun of him, and they would just be blunt, you need to be quiet, but he just kept jumping back in. And I noticed that the spot right in front of him was empty, so I just got up and I sat there. I just waited till he spoke. Then I turned out and just like so that he could just see me right there.
Yeah.
And my head was in his way of the performers, and he did. He shut down for about 15.
No,
I
it
think
works.
He,
I mean,
think
like,
yeah.
Jason, he'll do that sometimes too. I don't know if you notice.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
the whole time he's always just scoping out the room to, like, see how everything's going. And if someone's talking or like chatting really loud at the bar, he'll go and just stand next to them and just kind of like look over once in a while. And eventually people will get the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason doesn't give a fuck. That's funny. All right. So got a lot of racial tension going on in the country right now. Yeah. Yeah. So it's sort of taking things that like it's really bringing out some things in people that I didn't know existed, in this culture. Call me stupid, but I didn't know that it was this bad. It's sort of just hiding under a layer of peer pressure. I guess it was just peer pressure keeping part of our country quiet. But it's all out now. We got a big stink. I'm a little concerned with the direction it's going. How are you feeling about this?
I'm concerned too, but I feel like I kind of like knew this was going to happen. I kind of feel like the way I've been thinking about it is like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Right.
And I just kind of feel like Katniss. Like, I just want everyone to get along, and basically, I feel like anyone should be able to do whatever they want to, as long as there's no violence, like, at all. Like, violence is never, like...
Yeah,
it should never be a thing, and, like, I feel like a lot of comics have been wanting to make, like, jokes about all this that's been happening lately, the racial tension, and it's just, like... Me personally, I can't. It's just sad, and it's like upsetting, and like there's nothing funny about it.
It's also very challenging to forge those waters.
Yeah.
In the climate that we live in, it's easy to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Especially as a comic, because sometimes we're playing a character. We're trying to demonstrate the bizarre or the ridiculous by being that bizarre or ridiculous. But I like to fill that out a little bit from time to time. But I had a really strange situation the other day where I was in my house. I don't know if I told Monica about this, but it was just recently. I was in my kitchen, and I heard my son playing with a friend of his in the game room. I was just fixing a snack, and his friend he's a black kid, we've got a very diverse neighborhood. So my son's got friends from a lot of different cultures. But
that's good.
Yeah, and my kids love DK when he comes up here. DK got my son to wrap up a wire. It takes a special touch to get my son to wrap up a wire. He just doesn't do that for anybody. But anyways, so Gavin and his friend were playing in the other room, and I heard my son say, "Yeah, I gotcha. Now you're my slave." So yeah, you're feeling exactly.
But he didn't mean that in a way that, like, because of his skin color, though, obviously, right? Like.
Well, what's a parent to do? I took a deep breath, because I did instinctively know that some of this baggage that gets me in a huff is my own. Mm-hmm. I try not to make assumptions about my son's life. He's, an entire generation away from me. And so I just took a breath, and I just continued to make my snack. And I was like, all kinds of questions in my mind, like, what does he mean by slave? Are they are they pretending like they're in the pre-Civil War time? So I hope not, But anyways, a few moments passed, and I heard his friend say, he just went, "Yeah, I broke the chains. Now I'm free." And they
yes.
they just kept. So I have no idea what it was about.
Well, as long as they're having fun, and no one's being violent.
His friend broke free, so I was happy for him. I went high-fived him. I was like, "Yeah, you go. Don't you ever let my son put you in chains." Really encouraged the guy. Gave him a fist bump. And I was like, "Son, think twice next time." Taught him a lesson. Don't put somebody in chains. They're just going to eventually break free. So, well, Let's stop for a second and do some promotions. First of all, I want to say thank you to NCG Studios. We've got a fantastic thing going here, a great building for broadcasting awesome shows, and a volunteer crew of just a core group of dedicated people, and then sort of volunteers that come in and out and help us to make these shows. If you're watching this show and you live in Pensacola and you're interested in coming up and checking out what we do here, we work at 1701 Bainbridge Avenue. That's where the studio is. Just look us up. Friend me on Facebook or Twitter, Joey Livingston, and text me. Let me know if you're coming. I mean, you're welcome to just come up and introduce yourself, but I can let you know the times, etc. Well, I'll tell you now. We start at 9:30 in the morning on Sundays, 5:30 in the afternoons. We start creating shows, doing different things to build shows. Not always broadcasting, but certainly producing. NCG Studios produces more than one show. It's not just this. If you're not aware of it, there's a show right after this show called The Place. I wasn't looking that up. I was looking at the time. I know this show. This show is very familiar to me. I've been on it many times, I promise. And they've been around for years. Dr. Michael W. Jones is the host of that show. And they have covered a wide spectrum of topics, mostly in the areas of religion, science, politics, philosophy. And you know what? Some people, it's not suitable for it. You got to be in a particular mindset to understand this show. If you enjoy deep intellectual conversations and you can keep up with them, this show's for you. Olivia, show's obviously for you. I had to discourage Zach from watching the show, because you got to have, you got to be able to follow along to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just kidding. Oh, by the way, while we're promoting, I want to give a real apology to Zach. When I don't know if you saw his show, but
I need to watch all of it.
But 2/3 of the way through, his mic cut out.
Oh yeah.
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 And I hope you guys are listening to the live feed and that Olivia's mic hasn't cut out because it's back when we were doing the beginnings of greatness, it was Matt and I and we know each other. We've been brothers for years, not all our life. That's a long story. But anyways, we trust each other, and so if our mics went out, it was just equipment failure. But we're just becoming friends here. Zach and I, you and I, and I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. That was a complete accident. This show is full of jokes, and we're not always being serious, but I would never just cut a guest mic feed off like that. That would be a mean, disrespectful thing to do. And we love Zach. He's going to be back on, and we promise that he will have a microphone the whole show. Okay? So having said that, we have the place right after this. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we have Reflections. My wife does that show with my mammy, Rhonda Jones, and crew member one's lady, Kimberly Johnson. Why isn't her last name One? Shouldn't it be Kimberly One? Crew member... Okay, well, anyways, I get confused about that. I got crew member one, his wife is Kimberly Johnson. She does a great job on Reflections. And we're designing some new shows that are coming up, guys. So keep your eye. Go on to YouTube, follow NCG Studios. Go on to Facebook, look up their page. There's 2 pages right now, both called NCG Studios. Like both of them, but the one where we're gonna be putting out most of our show links, etc., is the one currently with the least likes. I know this is confusing, but Facebook it really messed us around, and we're trying to fight to rename one of the pages, but they're just being dum-dums. But anyways, it's a great show. I hope I covered the bullet point. Oh yeah, I remember. Listen, another thing is this studio is viewer and fan funded. We are much like National Public Radio. We exist by the contributions of our fans. And so if you love what we're doing, go to our site, ncgstudios.tv, hit that contribution button, and send us some dough. We got 2 links right there. One where you can just send us $5 or whatever, and then we got another one. This one's really dangerous. You be sure you know which one you're clicking, okay? Because one of them is a recurring donation. That's the one we want you to click, but we don't want you to click it without the knowledge. So be sure you click the right one, the one that you want. If you want to buy crew member one a cup of coffee, click that first link. If you want to buy him a cup of coffee every month, click that second link. and 80 cups of coffee would be preferred, but either way. Also want to give a shout out to Back Porch Comedy. Liv is one of the founders of Back Porch Comedy. We love Back Porch Comedy and what they've done here in Pensacola. They are the best thing going if you want to get your little toesies wet in comedy and get a feel for it. On Tuesday nights, open mic. You can go up there, sign up sign up starts at 9?
8:30.
8:30? Okay, starts at 8:30. And the show starts between 9 and 9:30 and just goes until everybody's done. You can get up there and we'll give you lots of encouragement. But like Liv says, we're not going to laugh at you if you're not funny. Well, I will. Liv won't. I'll give you a little laugh just to say, hey, buddy, I know what you're going through. Liv, she's going to, like this, her and DK, going to sit side by side. That's what we call the...
Does he do that too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. DK does not take shit from newcomers. Yeah, he'll laugh if they're genuinely funny, but he's a grunt. Yeah, DK is. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. And then on Fridays we have you have featured comics. This last Friday was great, where we just did storytelling. That was awesome.
That was the first time we did something like that.
Yeah,
and that was fun.
first storytelling session.
It was different.
I want to do that again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I guess that's it. Anything else you want to promote, Liv?
Every last Sunday of the month at this new venue called Chizuko, the one that you run the show, the last one.
Yeah.
Chizuko on Belmont and DeVillers. We do a comedy show there every last Sunday of the month, and that starts at 8:30 and is $5. And next Sunday, a week from now, we have Shane Lucas Price from Hawaii.
Okay.
And he's got a bunch of credits. He's good friends with our he's good friends with our friend Sam Talent. I don't know if you've heard about Sam Talent.
Yeah.
But he's pretty big in the comedy scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know
he's
Sam
getting
Talent.
up there. And he's a good friend of all of ours. He's come to Pensacola a lot with his wife, and they're awesome people. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good show, and it's only $5. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So check it out. Just look up Back Porch Comedy on Facebook. Give them a like, and they'll tell you all about the events that they're going to have and where they're going to be. And it's a lot of fun, I'm telling you. So we are coming to the end of the show here, Liv. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to sing you a song.
Okay.
And then we're going to close it out. Now, Jack,
Do you want me to harmonize in the background?
you're if you know the
Okay.
song, you're absolutely welcome. And there are specific parts in this song that can be harmonized with.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
can tell you right now, I don't know the song, but I will try to
I
harmonize.
bet you know the song. Yeah, I bet you do. You might not. Okay, Jack. Now, we've talked about this many, many times, and I'm telling you, if you cut to Olivia while she's watching me play music and you make it look like she's looking at me longingly, I'm going to slit your throat. Just end of story. Is that awkward?
Oh shit. Okay.
No. Serious. Serious. Okay, I'm not serious. I would never slit Jack's throat. Guys, come on. Yeah. It's called dark comedy. Okay, let me tip this down a little bit and get a sound check. How are we doing back there? Anybody testing the sound? Put it back up. Okay. Move it closer, a little bit closer. All right. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in the beauty wood. A neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood let's make the best of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, hey, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you be? Please won't you be my neighbor? My neighbor. My neighbor. My neighbor, my neighbor, my neighbor, my neighbor, my neighbor. Ooh. Oh. Went off without a hitch. Without a hitch. Did you know that song?
No.
You know who Mr. Rogers is, and you don't know who that song?
Okay, I know who Mr. Rogers is.
It probably sounds a little
The way
bit.
you were singing
yeah, it
it.
sounds a little bit different.
And I wish I knew you played guitar, because
Yeah.
I do too, and that could have been something we could have talked about.
Oh, well, I bring my guitar every time I go up to Back Porch Comedy in case somebody else has also brought their guitar.
What?
But it's always secret guitars, so nobody knows who brought their guitar. So it's a failed system that we need to improve
You're
upon.
right. Weird you say that. I never trying to end this real quick, but there's like so many nights where I was like drunk on the patio there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish I had a guitar right now.
Yeah, I'm just not going to be the only douchebag to whip out the guitar, you know. I mean, it's got to be
I
me
know.
and one other person.
I don't like that
Yeah.
person, and
Yeah.
like.
As long as
maybe
there's
it's good
another
that you didn't
person,
tell me.
then there's a thing happening that you know. Yeah,
See, now I
so.
hate that you told me that because I'm going to ask you for it, and I'm drunk next. I'm going to be the douchebag.
Oh
with
no,
my guitar.
I'm saying I've been telling Zach, bring your guitar, because I don't mind being the douchebag if there's another douchebag, because then you cancel the douchebaggery is canceled out, and it's just good music and good times.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, absolutely. I want to apologize for wasting 10% of your show discussing the shit that keeps falling off my glasses.
You're good.
But I had fun. Did you have fun?
I did have
Yeah,
fun. I'm
all
sorry
right.
I'm boring. I'm just exhausted because I worked all day.
All right, Tony. I tell you what, you Back Porch founders have inferiority complex that you need to work
yeah.
on. Yeah, you were great. Yeah, you were great. Wasn't she great? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. Olivia Searcy, everybody. Liv Searcy. All my audience members, you can call her Liv. We
Or
all know
else.
each other now. All right. Fade this fucker out. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Joey.